Aloha and welcome, beautiful friends on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on YouTube. Both the YouTube of the Freedom Quest and of myself, and also the Facebook and the LinkedIn of Miriam Aragon, which we're gonna let us join the live stream a little bit later. Because today we're welcoming you back into our series of Meet the Freedom Team. We have had already 2 interviews introducing previous team members, Regula Baltashriller and Fee O'Shea from New Zealand, which was really beautiful. And today I'm very excited to introduce you to another one of our phenomenally gifted, experienced, and talented vegan team members. So welcome to everybody to the live stream. It's a pleasure to have you here. Let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from. If this is the first time you're watching a live stream like this, please grant StreamYard.com, which is the streaming platform we're using, permission to use your name so that when you leave a comment, I and our dear friend Miriam will see who is commenting. So before I'm bringing Miriam to the screen and letting her share her story and her experience, I want to remind you that we're doing these series not only to give you insights into our team and introduce the Freedom Team, but also we're currently having our crowdfunding campaign running. And we want to ask you to support our crowdfunding campaign by contributing or sharing it in your networks, because we aim to raise a lot of money in order to build our platform. We're currently building an online education platform designed to revolutionize vegan activism by educating and empowering vegans to become truly impactful and influential change makers. If you don't know it yet, the Freedom Quest, it is the quest of veganizing over 50% of all humans on planet Earth for the animals, the planet, and our health. My name is June Fuchs. I'm the founder and CEO of the Freedom Quest. And without any further ado, I want to welcome Mirjam to our stream. Hey, love, how are you?
Thank you. I'm excited to be here and very grateful.
I am so as well. As I have mentioned before to you before we streamed live, I want to read out to people who you are so that they have a little bit of context, right? You're a holistic nutritionist and a trauma therapist in somatic experiencing. You're also a light worker and a passionate, intuitive vegan chef. You've been running your own nutrition consultory for over 13 years. That's right, together with your husband Omar, who's also in our team and will be introduced soon. You managed a vegan oasis in the Caribbean of Mexico for 7 years, where you and your husband offered apartments and private chefing, as well as retreat cooking and one-on-one healing sessions. What a story. Do you want to tell us a little? Yeah, right? It's like, holy shit, you hear that yourself. I'm like, oh,
That's
that's
me.
how did that all happen? Like, let's just go back to the beginning, or let's call it the initiation of your journey. You know, in the spiritual world, we often talk about journey. So where did you get started with getting into somatic experiencing work?
Well, first of all, I got pregnant and I got mom and I didn't have time to do any other studies. And then later on, I realized actually what I really wanted to do because I never knew actually what I want to do. Like my whole childhood, I was just a dreamer. I was probably just in other realms and not really in this material world. And when I turned around 24, 25, I realized what I really want, like talking to people, and I decided to do first something with foundation, and I went to school to learn about nutrition. But I didn't want to learn the normal nutrition, which was in the university, because they are very hooked to the milk industry in Switzerland. So I decided to do a private school with holistic way of learning and to have like a very holistic way of looking at nutrition. So I learned about Chinese nutrition, about Ayurvedic, anthroposophic, and so many different layers, and it was very interesting for me. And I started to have my own consultory, and after a few years, I realized that I can't really go deep with the humans who come and need help, because most of the humans that come, the clients that visited me, that looked out for me, that reached out for help, was more, problem with eating disorder and more with digestive problems. And it was not so much about, overweight. That was because that's just not the people I attract. And I realized there is so much more happening with these issues. It's not only about food. So I went deeper into trauma therapy, because I knew something is stuck in their being, because they're intelligent. Humans are so intelligent. And I just knew there is something deeper which they cannot feel, or not putting into words, or not understand. So it's something on a cellular and on a nervous system level. And that is what brought me to do trauma therapy, which is called somatic experiencing, from a doctor from the States. He's Dr. Peter Levine. Many know of him. And it was a very deep journey for myself as well, because you go deep for yourself. And that's how I could work even more holistic with human beings, to be able to go on deeper levels and layers, to unblock their traumas. So food is like a little thing, but I realized under there is something huge.
Yeah.
And that helped me so much to work with my clients, to unblock and unlock and go deep, and on a very gentle way. So it's not psychology where you re-chew on issues they, on topics they don't want to even talk about anymore. So it's like really on a cellular level, on a physical level, and on a very spiritual level. And that's where I found myself very, very home.
I can relate to that so much. Like the practice of somatic experiencing is also something that's been on my path for a long time. And I think that's why we clicked really fast as well.
Nice.
Like I remember the moment when we started chatting online, and we both originate from Switzerland. So we were speaking in Swiss German to one another, right? And I think I connected with your husband, Omar, first, and then that kind of like circled into our connection and you becoming a team member of the Vreedom Quest. So thank you for sharing a little bit about your journey. You're also a mom, which is really beautiful always when I see, a vegan, super healthy, conscious people having children and guiding their children through life. This is something that I talk a lot about with like some friends that have kids, because I think a lot of people on this planet make children or give birth to children and are far from ready to actually guiding children through this earthly plane. And so for me, it's beautiful to see that both of you, have been parents and are parents still, right? I just want to highlight that Fee is watching. Pascal is with us. Regula is joining us. She says it's so interesting and important. Yes. You're taking a sip of this beautiful juice that you made. Yes. You said it before to me. It's carrot, it's turmeric, and what else? Grapefruit, right?
Grapefruit. Yeah.
Yes. And you said to me that you juiced it in an angel juicer, which is like
Yeah.
the Rolls Royce of juicers, if you don't know it out there. This is also something that we're both really passionate about, is like how healthy can one get without losing the mental sanity, but supporting the mental sanity. So I would love to ask you a little bit about your own journey with food. Like, where did veganism enter your life, and how did that develop into now drinking juices made with an angel juicer?
Okay, my vegan journey. When I was a child, I think around 6 maybe, I started to realize that the food on my plate used to be an animal. And my mom comes from originated from Germany, and they have like a lot of meat on their plate. And she was very into actually healthy food somehow, but still meat was kind of, there was no question about it. And I started to realize that I could not eat it if I knew that it was an animal. So I did eat as a child fish sticks, and I ate, I mean, tongue, I ate tongue, and it sounded so funny to eat tongue. And suddenly it clicked in my brain. It was like, is this really a tongue from a cow? And then it was like, oh, I can't eat it anymore. And same with fish, or with, if I could see as a child that it was an animal, I just couldn't eat it anymore. But somehow, parents in that time, maybe they were not very sensitive, and they just let me not eat it, which was fine for me. And I turned vegetarian since very, very small. And I did eat, sometimes fish, because I didn't really realize the pain of these animals. It was just like something inside of me that said it's disgusting. But if there was a lot of lemon juice and mayonnaise on it, it was okay to have it. So I started this journey actually when my husband, when he got into, I was nutritionist already, a vegetarian nutritionist. And suddenly he said, hey, Mirjam, we got to turn vegan. And I'm like, what? Are you crazy? This is too extreme. It's okay. We're vegetarian. It's all fine, and then he said, let's go to there was we were at that time in Switzerland. And he said, let's go to from the vegan society in Switzerland. They had this one day of, joining and inviting people to introduce them to veganism. So we went, and I'm like, okay, let's go. And there was a challenge, a 1 month challenge from the 1st of November, the typical day of veganism, 30 days of being vegan. So we did that. And after 30 days, we were like, that's no problem. It's no issue. Let's just keep it that way. And we were vegan at that since then. Actually, there was no doubt. And for me personally, I didn't have that empathy for animals. I really didn't. I loved animals somehow, but I didn't really have the empathy for them. And I was afraid of dogs. I used to be afraid of dogs. And in that month, when I turned vegan, I started to look at animals in a different way. So it shifted somehow differently. For many people, it's like, oh my God, how much pain we do to the animals, and then they start loving them, or somehow they have the empathy. But I just stopped having the food in myself from the animals, and then I started having empathy for the animals. So I started to have empathy for each and every being, and I just couldn't anymore go back. And it's now, I don't even remember what year it was, but it's maybe 13, 15 years around that happened.
Became the new normal, huh?
And it was like this.
Yeah.
The only issue I had was that our son, he was doing like a lot of sport, and he just wanted meat. And at a very early age, I said, okay, look, here is money, you can go and buy it, but don't put it in the fridge. There is no way to put it into the house. So if you're outside, do what you want, but not in my house. And I did cook for him sometimes some eggs, because I just felt like also overwhelmed. I didn't really know, even though I was nutritionist, I felt like, okay, he needs that. And, let's just keep with him. And he's small, like careful. And there was not much about internet, Now I think there is no excuse to say I have no idea. But at that time, if you go to a library 20 years ago, I mean, there was no book about veganism. Or maybe I didn't look for it.
Maybe one somewhere in the corner hidden.
So that was like, I just felt like doing this for him a few years more. But yeah, for me, it was definitely over.
Yeah.
Having animal products, it's no way.
No.
And they say, and it's beautiful, I know there's a beautiful sentence, they say, never trust an ex-vegan.
I haven't heard that, but I like it. Never trust an ex-vegan. Because once you go vegan, like in my opinion as well, it's so much more than a diet. And I just want to highlight that for all of our listeners. It's not only a way of eating, it's a way of paying respect towards animals and towards the planet. There's a big chain reaction, right? And because we've all come to understand that we, with the Freedom Quest, are really moving veganism forward in a way that, according to my research and our team's research, hasn't been done before. To give you a little more insight on what we're actually doing, is we having the goal to veganize over 50% of all humans on planet Earth, right? And we're doing that by building an education platform, as I mentioned in the beginning already, an education platform in which you, Mirjam, are also hired as a trainer and a facilitator. And we're creating courses for our vegan community to elevate their vegan impact, to really influence the masses with their own uniqueness, their own talents, their expertise, and their skills. And because we want to launch that successfully in January 2024, we need your help. We need your help. We're currently raising funds. We launched a crowdfunding campaign, which is online on Indiegogo. I will share the link real quick with you all here in the chat so that you can support us. You can become a visionary funder. And as a visionary funder of our campaign, you will receive benefit gifts. They are all listed on the Indiegogo campaign. They're also called perks. Indiegogo calls them perks. We call them benefit gifts. So please go ahead and check it out. And if you can't support the crowdfunding campaign financially, please just share it in your networks. We would really appreciate that. Now, I see you mentioned before, Mirjam, the fear of dogs, and Regula says she can relate because she lost her fear of spiders through going vegan. It's the same for me, actually. I did have fear of spiders as well. And all of a sudden I started calling them Felipe. And then Felipes were my friends.
I love that. That is so beautiful.
And being based in Bali, we have big spiders. So there's a lot of big Felipes there. And I'm like, oh, hey, big Felipe.
That's so good. That's amazing. Yeah, that's something I was many years ago. I was thinking about how come that I was also very afraid of spiders, and I did some hypnosis, and it really helped me to get over that fear. But at the same time, there's so many people afraid of spiders, of snakes, of rats, mice. And I realized that these are animals who don't make a lot of noise. You can't really hear them. And it's just my thoughts that I was thinking about, maybe if, with dogs and cats, we have much more this maybe similarity of, can read their eyes, their movements of their face, we can hear their noises. And if there's an animal, you can't really, in mice and rats, you can see their eyes and their way of moving, their muscles in their face, but still, I think that can make also like fear to humans if we cannot, put them into where we are at or where they are at. So it's a great idea to give them a name and make relationship with them. I love that.
Yeah, there's a lot of Felipes on the planet all of a sudden. Yeah, it's kind of like a therapeutic, playful approach to it as well. Like, give it a name, And it's funny you said that, just to stay on this topic for a little longer, like the fear of animals that we can't relate to. I mean, it ties into the concept of veganism and of speciesism, especially. What we can relate to more, we respect more, right? So our fellow human beings, we treat with love and respect. Hopefully, if you ain't, you better start. Right? And then we had the concept of racism coming up throughout the last decades and centuries, actually, really, establishing itself. And now we have the concept of speciesism, which is just the same story on repeat with another being than other skin-colored or other ethnic background humans, but with animals. And so the challenge for us in our minds is to overcome speciesism, even though those beings aren't similar to us in any form or shape sometimes, So a pig has very similar eyes to us. A dog has a very similar playful behavior to us as children, so we can relate to them a lot. But with a spider or with a chicken. It's a different story, and we just need to understand that these are beings too, equipped with a soul within a vessel, in a body, same like us. Pay respect to them the same way they pay respect to us. They don't eat us either.
No, they're
They
super
don't eat us
kind.
either, right? A crocodile, in survival mode, a crocodile, that's a different story. We're not going to discuss that for now. That's a different story. Except for somebody who's watching right now is actually encountering a crocodile attack. Please stop watching and run away. Thank you.
Oh, we had that in Mexico. We were in a cenote. These are like these water holes where the groundwater comes up to the surface, and it's like crystal clear. And the guy said, "You're going to swim in here? There's a crocodile." We're like, "Oh, so what?" And then we said, "Okay, if you see it, just tell us." And suddenly, really, he's like, "The crocodile's coming!" And we're like, "Oh my god!" Out of the water, it was really like 4-meter crocodile.
Wow.
And we're like, "Off."
Yeah. If you're vegan or not vegan, it doesn't matter. If you see a crocodile, you better just go. You better go. In Mexico, tell us a little bit about your experiences in Mexico. You've spent such a long time together there, you and your husband, and you've built so many things there. You were involved in retreats. You were able to, gift people with your holistic healing experiences, with your energy work. Give us some examples of what were some of these beautiful moments you remember?
Well, we lived in a very beautiful touristic place, actually, which used to be just a very small town, but it has grown very big, and it attracts, like Bali. It's like the same than in Bali is where we were. So all the people come. And during lockdown, it was even, I would say, worse because everybody came because Mexico had opened their boundaries all the time. So everybody came. And, it's Tulum. Maybe you've heard of Tulum. It's paradise. And people from all over the world are coming, and everybody's looking for healing. Everybody's looking for paradise somehow. And even if it's not everything paradise there is kind of an energy flowing which attracts all these beautiful beings. At the other side, it also attracts other beings, because where there is money, it attracts also some very uncomfortable issues, which we don't want to put in here. And so what we did, we had we do have, actually, we have a oasis with apartments, and we invite people who are like-minded. So it's still called the Vegan Oasis. And there was only vegan food prepared by me. And I also prepared kind of catering. So people who knew me, or people who came to make holidays somewhere around near, they came to pick up the food in little containers. So we did this because we were living zero waste at that time, 100%. So we didn't do any waste, no plastic. We filled, in 2 years, we filled a 4-liter jar with trash. That was it. I mean, I'm sorry to say, we didn't even use toilet paper because we installed bidet like Bali, so you don't make any trash at all, because the trash is just going into the jungle. And there you have these stones who are kalk. It's like chalk, kind of like chalk stone. So it filters down into this groundwater and it goes into the sea. So it's really a big issue there. And that was something we really love, to inspire many people to live as zero waste or as minimal waste as possible. And that's what we do. And also the food I cooked, I cook everything from scratch, everything. That's why, I do juicing, because it's not pasteurized. And if I need to buy somewhere a juice, in a shop, I know it's pasteurized, so it's just dead. There is nothing actually left from the good, nutrients. And so that's my journey there, just going into the zero waste, into the holistic food of kind of not even only raw food, which we say that has the most effective and light in the food, but still how you prepare the food is so valuable. How you look at the food and how you prepare it, and that's how it tastes afterwards. So I don't even use too many herbs and spices and all that, because each and every ingredient has so much flavor. And that's what I learned to respect, actually, even more about food, about vegetables and fruits and grains. And so that's how I inspire people wherever I am, whatever I do. That's the inspiration for me to really look at food as something like energy, because energy is what we put into our body. And it's not about the calorie energy. So it's about the energy, how this is grown, how it is treated, how it is cooked. What thoughts do you put into when you cook? And that's what you can feel a lot when people go to the restaurants. I mean, it's nice, it's good, but mostly it's prepared with a lot of stress. And that's what you put into your body. I mean, imagine if you eat meat or dairy products, which are not even only produced with stress in the kitchen. No, the animal had to produce it under a lot of stress and pressure. So there's so much stress, and that you can relate, like it's you can see outside the world is going on what's going inside the world, like in the world. And that's how I relate to food, and that's the experience in Mexico as well, to prepare for others the food. And so many beings there, they were so amazed how simple and good food can be, because it doesn't need much, it just needs the love and the dedication and the wisdom from inside, and it's all good.
I know where we as a team are going to have our first team retreat.
You're happily invited. We'll do that.
Yeah. It really sounds so magical, and the way you describe it, there's a lot of similarity to where I'm based in Bali, Indonesia, right? A lot of people come for healing, a lot of people come for guidance and growth, spiritual, personal, individual growth. And this is also something that has taken shape on your end in form of a business, right? You're the founder of Essential. And at this moment, I just want to pull up your beautiful, beautiful website here. Right. Ganzheitlich und essentiell. Your website is in German because you mainly cater to German-speaking people. But, some of our followers here are speaking German, but I'm happy to just translate briefly for us what's saying here. So it says ganzheitlich and essentiell, which means holistic and essential. And beneath it, you say, here you are being guided in your essence. And there is a safe space held and created for you to open new spaces within yourself for healing, for clarity, and for growth. So you're offering a holistic and energetical experience of nutrition consulting, trauma therapy, energy work, vegan cooking courses, quantum healing techniques, and a virtual living space. So you're basically welcoming people home to your living space, but also to the living space they're carrying within themselves, right? So I will link, and I think it's already linked in the description of this live stream, your website, for everybody who wants to go and have a closer look at it. There's some vegan cooking workshops, as I said, the nutrition consulting, somatic experiencing. There's a whole lot of places for you to visit. There's the pricing. You can book via your website. You have it all very well set up. And a lot of the work that you're doing and that is being presented on your website here is also the work that is being integrated into the Vreedom Quest platform, right? So as we're currently in the building stage of our platform, you are also working on a curriculum that will be offered to the members in our platform. For those of you that don't know really what the platform is all about, it is a platform that we are officially launching in January 2024. And as I said before, we do need funds to launch it, right? So you can become a visionary funder for our crowdfunding campaign, receive beautiful benefit gifts, and at the same time support us in building this platform, support myself, support Mirjam and the whole team in developing the technology and, in our case, the curriculums for our courses. So all of the beautiful work and experience that you have accumulated and practiced and gifted people with over the years will be available in course format inside of the Vreedom Quest. Now, one thing that I also want to talk about actually is we connected online, right? And we both, it's so funny because we both originate from the same country, but same as with you and as it is with the other team members of the Vreedom Quest, I've connected with all of them online. And I just want to highlight that real quick because the platform we're building is also an online platform. And I know there is some sort of stigma around that real connection can only happen with, people that meet in person. So I would actually like to ask your opinion, Mirjam, now being an active team member since multiple months already. I think we connected 2.5 months ago, 3 maybe, somewhere there. Somewhere there, right? And that's where you first learned about the Vreedom Quest. We had some meetings, you and I, and also your husband and I, and then we brought you in, and now you're an active member of the team. What's your experience with our team, with the community, with the platform that we're building? Like, how would you describe this experience to us?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's just yesterday I was thinking about that, and I felt it's so beautiful to, as a vegan, sometimes happens that you feel lonely. Even if my husband and I were both vegan, I'm very happy about that because I couldn't imagine if it would be different. But still, it's complicated to really connect with people sometimes who are not vegan. I feel like there is always this kind of boundary or something that you don't really merge, somehow it's something is there that always a little bit of, there's something you don't want to talk about because, if you talk about, there is going to be discussions and uncomfortable situation and you just leave this topic, but it's not really possible because it's a part of life, and so that's for me, it's like, it's so good to see and hear and feel all these people together in this team, knowing that we're all on the same page. We're all just for veganism, for the animals, for health, for community, and we all want to expand this. And even my husband, Omar, he told me yesterday, I feel like this Vreedom Quest is going to be something that there will be like colonies and from there it's gonna expand. There's like this Vreedom Quest and it's gonna put colonies, and then it's gonna expand. It's like, yeah, that's what it's needed. So it's a really beautiful chance for all of us to come together and to work together on this. And I think we're all grateful for you to launching this, to have this, courage, to step out and to say, hey, we're going to veganize the world.
Duh. Nothing else to do.
That's amazing because I'm just the person, I do activism just in my offerings, but not, like this. And so I'm very happy to be part of this and to be able to step out and to be given that space to live my whole being. So it's gonna be amazing.
Oh, it already is. And it's so funny that your husband, Omar, he picked up on a part of the strategy that's already written. Not all, like, as you know, a lot of the strategy for the upcoming year, 2024, we already discussed and you know about it, but there's strategy up until 2030. So the whole community building aspect in terms of like in-person gatherings and in-person spaces that are building, it will happen. So, you're tuned in. You're tuned in. That will happen. Yeah. And as you mentioned before, I just want to take a moment to show you who else is in our team. We all have done a team interview series. As you know, this one is the third one. You're about to meet more people like Mackenzie, Divyesh, who is a manager in the social media team. Fee O'Shea, she already has introduced herself in a meeting. Blas was with us. Pascal, she's watching right now. Hey, love. Regula, you already met Regula. There's Jacqueline and Quillen from New York. Super power couple of mother and son. So beautiful. Marcelo is our lawyer and strategist. We have Jessica as a strategist and a trainer as well. Christos, who is our trainer in terms of fitness and vegan health, like physical health, but also nutrition is a part of his gig. There are you. There are you. And here's your beautiful husband, Omar, who's also going to be introduced soon in a live stream. We have Juan from Barcelona. He is studying, and he originates from Colombia, a candidate in a PhD in sustainability management, right? He's a strategist. We have Allison helping us with the bookkeeping and the admin, Jasna. You see, there's a whole lot of really powerful people. Carol, Colin, over 27 years. He's been facilitating world-class leadership and facilitation skills, so he's creating a course for us right now on that. Fabienne, also from Switzerland, and then Will. And there's a whole bunch of more people that are on our website. They're still, uploading their biography and uploading their photos, and we're upgrading the website day by day. So there's a handful of more amazing people joining us. But as I said before, we are currently all volunteering our time and our expertise, right? So the curriculums that you, for example, are developing and all the other trainers are developing, the people that are running the social media, the strategists that are helping us, our lawyer, Marcelo, all of you, including myself, are volunteering. And therefore I don't like that. I appreciate it, but I don't like it. This is like something much bigger than many things, many activism things. It's a really big project and we need funds for it. So at this point, I just want to remind all of you again that we are running a crowdfunding campaign, and you can support it by contributing and becoming a visionary funder. As a visionary funder of our campaign, you will receive benefit gifts. One of the main benefit gifts is a certain amount of free membership after our platform launch, and there's a hell of a lot of more of benefit gifts waiting for you. I'm actually just going to show them to you right now. Let's just take a moment for that. I can pull them up here. There we go. This is the crowdfunding page that you're seeing right now, right? So we have a video on here that explains the campaign. We have another video on here that was the official crowdfunding launch, in which I talk about the team structure. If you hit play on that video, dear follower, you will see how our team is built. There's a whole PDF presentation that we worked and created together as a team, introducing all the roles that are given away in our team. And then there is a little extra image. What happens if we don't reach our goal? We have a really big goal in order to launch this in the highest possible success rate. But if we can't make it, all the funds that are donated to our crowdfunding campaign, all of you visionary funders, that money will flow into our campaign. We will receive it and we will use it to build the platform. So if we reach that 250,000 Swiss francs or not, the platform will happen. But in order to really launch it at the exact time, January 2024, and to launch it with the volume of courses, of marketing strategies that we're currently developing, we do need those funds. Also, we are opening the official business in Switzerland, which needs a initial investment of 100,000 Swiss francs. So that's also what the crowdfunding campaign is for, that we can open an official business in Switzerland and officially, legally hire our team members. If you scroll further down on the page, there is an in-depth description on the project, on our vision, on who I am, on our online education platform. You can read through all of this in your own time. And on the right side, as you're opening it on a laptop screen, if you're opening it on your smartphone, it will be all the way at the bottom. But on the right side here, you have the select an option window, correct? So here you have these different types of support that you can offer us. You can become a Freedom Booster or a patron, a Freedom Magician, or even a Freedom Manifester, right? There's all of these different levels of contributions you can make. If you click on them, there's a little window that opens explaining what you get is in return for your contribution. So for example, here you'll be featured and published in our podcast and published as an official sponsor on our website in 2024 and mentioned in the gratitude post series. We're going to throw them out after the campaign ends. Also, you can join the Freedom Quest education platform and community for 12 months for free after our launch in January 24. Plus, we virtually adopt one animal in one of our partner sanctuaries. This is another beautiful thing about the Freedom Quest that I want to show you. We're partnering in the name of our giving back philosophy. We're partnering with sanctuaries and vegan NGOs, and we're giving back 10% of our profits to our non-human animal friends directly. The beautiful thing is our team is all over the world, right, Mirjam? We're all over the world, and this allows us to actually hand over these 10% each month to our partners, to sanctuaries, and to vegan NGOs in person. So we're having 45 people in the main Freedom Quest team. As I said before, not all of them are on the website yet. There's 20 on the website, but we're having 45 people in the Freedom team all over the globe. So we are able to hand over these 10% in person to our, partners that we want to support, the sanctuaries, the vegan NGOs. And that's what we're doing. That's a part of the philosophy. That's a part of the mindset. Yeah. Loving that, don't we?
Amazing.
Loving that. Regula also says, yes, thank you. She says, yeah. So I want to thank you so much today, dear Mirjam, for sharing a little bit about yourself, your work with us. I would love for you to also tell people when they want to reach out to you, when they want to get in touch with you in person. Obviously, there's your website, but maybe there's some people listening right now that are, yes, interested in the Freedom Quest, that want to contribute to the crowdfunding campaign, but also that want to get in touch more with you and are interested in the work you have to offer. So how do they connect with you best, and what are you currently offering at this moment in time?
So you can connect still through my homepage. There is a contact form. And as you can see, I do speak quite fluently English, not perfect, but I do, or Spanish as well. So Spanish, English, German are my fluent languages. I can do any classes or workshops or healing sessions in these languages without any hesitation. Please, reach out to me. And I do actually offer right now everything online. So just needing a laptop or a phone and reach out to me, and we can schedule any session you might feel you need.
Love that. Please do so. Reach out to her if you have any questions. I just pulled up the contact form on your website real quick for people to see how it looks like. And if anybody right now does have some questions, we can spend a couple of more minutes here in the live stream together for all of you beautiful watchers and listeners here to answer your questions related to Mirjam, her work, maybe her journey, her experience in Mexico. Pascal says, thanks, dear. Thank you, Pascal, for joining us. Pascal, you will be introduced also very soon. You're the permaculture expert in our team and creating a course on that, right? And who else was here? Anybody in the comments having some questions, some more things you want to know, please throw them in there. Where in Mexico was the retreat?
Also in Tulum.
In Tulum, huh?
In Quintana Roo, which is the state where it's, Cancun and all the way down. It's kind of between Belize and Cancun, like in the middle, there is Tulum. It's on the Caribbean side, like the most amazing white sand beaches. And
Holy wow. Holy wow. We're just pulling up some images here. That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful.
And there's so many retreats happening there, and everybody needs a chef, and everybody's into healthy living and healthy eating. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. I'm not only a chef.
Yeah.
I do love chefing, but not only.
Not only, no. Oh, Stephanie is with us. Hey, Stephanie.
Oh,
Nice to have
Stephanie.
you. You know her too?
You know each other. I know you know each other. And she's my very dearest friend.
No way. Oh,
We're
he's
soul
asking.
sisters. We're absolute soul sisters. And yeah, I know you two have met before.
I can tell that you're so sisters. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Wow. She's asking, do you want to tell us, dear Miriam, what exactly do you do? Well, okay, let's open that book again. It's a big story. Well, yeah, you're good, Miriam. You're good in this. You can sum it up in a couple of sentences. What do you do? You breathe. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, you do. Help. But what do you do in your work?
Okay, so what do I do? I I inspire people the way I live. I think that's what I do. I'm a I would not say I'm a psychic medium, but that's how English people probably would call it, what I am or what I do. I do work on an energetic level. I'm very empathic, so I feel people's energy. I heal or help and support to activate their inner healing um, with different techniques, but most of all with my intuition and connection to the light. I cook with a lot of love. Of course, only vegan and organic, mostly gluten free. And if needed, and somebody would really want to have more knowledge and wisdom about food, about eating, about nourishing, I'm here also as a holistic nutritionist and also as a trauma therapist. Is that wrapped up?
I was asking you, you're a love witch, right?
I love witch.
A love witch. That sums it up really well. Thank you for answering. Yeah, that's good. What a good question. By the way, was still saying when we're at Tulum, somewhere I'd love to go, and Pascal is like, when are we going? Well, if we manage the crowdfunding campaign successfully, let me lay that, I could just share stuff like this with y'all. So if the crowdfunding campaign gets successful, we have the funds to open the business in Switzerland, to have a starting capital, and to officially hire in those 20 positions, which you currently can see on the website. Those will be remote part-time positions, and then you all can get to work in a paid format so that we can really move this dimension, this platform into existence. 2024 will be the year where the platform is online and everybody, dear vegan friends listening right now, can enroll in the Freedom Quest platform. You will receive access to our high quality trainings after walking through a basic training, which is available for free. So you're walking through a basic training, an onboarding training, we call this. And then once you've completed that, you can decide if you want to enroll in the monthly membership, which costs $34 a month. Only 10%, as I said before, of your monthly membership fee, as you would sign up to the platform, are being donated to our partners, which are sanctuaries all over the world and vegan NGOs all over the world. Now, those $34 are officially also used to pay our team members and to keep our platform technically running. Now, we expect approximately 350 vegans to sign up to our platform within the first year, which would allow us to become completely self-sufficient and not, need to rely on any investments anymore. So within the first year, the platform can become self-sufficient with the amount of people that we expect to join our platform. The second year, 2025, sneak peek, we are starting to develop offline communities based on the work that everybody has been doing in the online community. So when people walk through the courses within the Freedom Quest platform, you will be equipped with the skills, with the talents, and with like the tools to develop yourself to a level that you can create anything. You can start creating vegan impact in any shape or form that you want, which also includes you stepping into such a high level that, you called me courageous before, that the courage will be there, the love and the transparency, the acceptance and the knowing will be there that you can build anything you want, any vegan community you want. We're also going to provide a layout, which is what we're going to establish in the first year, a layout on how communities can be built, how you can gather people, how you can host events, and then move that further forward, right? So that's a little sneak peek into the strategy that nobody of the team actually has known so far. So not only for you on social media, this is new, but also for you, Mirjam. You're like,
Like, yeah.
woo! And a part of that obviously is also our team is, we're high level change makers, we are driving the vision to veganize 50% of all humans on planet Earth, which in the beginning, when I started talking about this, people have called me delusional for saying it. And I'm like, yes, honey, you better watch. You better watch. I'm not alone. I'm bewinged with you, Mirjam. I'm bewinged with the whole team, and we're bewinging each other to bring this platform, which is, according to the research that we've done, the most effective way of elevating vegan activism. There's so many ways to do it, but education is the core component of elevating our activism and elevating our impact. So Tulum is awaiting us as a team. When our platform is running successfully, we can start hosting retreats, recovery retreats, vegan health, vegan impact retreats, and that will be happening in places like your center, for example. So Pascal, we might go in 2025. Begin 2025. Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Pascal's like, poo! Poo emoji. He says, this is awesome. We agree.
Oh.
We agree so much. Well, thank you all so much for your questions, for your love, for your time, for your celebration emojis, Pascal. It's lovely to have you with us in the live stream. And is there anything else you want to say to our listeners from your side, dear Mirjam?
Well, thank you for your support, for sharing your energy with us, for listening, for being able to share. Thank you, Yoon, for this space. We really all are encouraging each other to make this place a better world, and I think that's where we are on this journey. We all have this desire for a better world. Each and every being on this planet, and this is a beautiful space you're offering, and we're together in this, and I'm super, super, super thankful.
Mutual gratitude. Thank you so much, Mirjam, for being here with us. And thank you so much, dear listeners and dear watchers of this episode of the Team Introduction series. My name is Fuchs. I'm the founder and CEO of the Freedom Quest. One last time, I want to remind you that we're having our crowdfunding campaign running. And as you know now, you know exactly why we're needing that money. I want to ask you again to support us in this crowdfunding campaign. The link to it has already been shared in the description of this live stream. And if not, it's also on our website, which is www.thefreedomquest.com. Please visit it. There's more details on it there. And go ahead, support our campaign by contributing or sharing. Blow the internet up, my love. Really, blow it up with our campaign. What we're doing is phenomenal. It's transformative. It's groundbreaking. And we need your support. So in my name, in Mirjam's name again, and in the name of the complete Freedom Quest team, thank you for watching or listening on our podcast. If you're listening to this as a recorded version, bless you all and thank you so much. Mwah.